everybody, CW here. I'm going to start a little series. I was requested to join in, and I think it's a good idea, so I'm going to do it. And what that is a good friend of the channel. Everybody out there is Timmy over at TreeTop Outdoors, and I'll leave a link for him down in the description. So check him out. He's got a neat channel. He does a trick shot on Thursdays. He does all kinds of neat stuff. A few product reviews. He's actually got a good giveaway going on right now too. I believe it's a red dot. So go check his channel out. Again, there'll be a link in the description. And have a look and see, and maybe you can win a red dot. But there's a number of other guys that I subscribe to that are doing this as well. I know Rob over at Hamilton Outdoors is doing it, and Rob has a great channel as well. He does lots of reviews on products, and he does a lot of shooting. He's got a little range right there at his house, and he's just a super nice guy. And another one is Al over at A Walk with Al, and he's a newer channel, and he's a real nice guy too. He does mostly gun stuff, but he's been doing a little bit of fishing at times, and he does a lot of reviews, both new and used firearms. And he's got a range right there where he can shoot at, and he's got a range that he goes to for a little longer ranges. So it's really good stuff, and a lot of good people involved here. And what this is 10 firearms in 10 days, rifles or pistols. So I figured I'd join in and see what I can do. I think I can scrounge up 10 different things to show you guys that you might be interested in. I'm going to try and do 5 short guns and 5 long guns. So 5 handguns and 5 long guns. I started out with a favorite. This here is a Mauser, a 98 Mauser, and I just really love the 98 Mausers as deer rifles. I just like them a lot. It's what I started out with. It's what I know. I actually have the first rifle that I hunted with, which was my grandfather's, and this one here, I call it my dad's, but I really got it from my grandfather. Back about 58, 59, something like that. Pop ordered this out of a magazine for like $19 or $29 or whatever they were back then. Remember, it's a different time. This is before 68, so before the 4473, when there was nothing. You just buy a firearm, you buy it, just like you bought a can of beans or tires for your car. You just go and buy it. And it came as a 30-06. That's what this is. So it's a who knows who made it barrel. It's more than likely some kind of military barrel, because you can see where it's been recontoured from the steps. You can see the steps in it from a military barrel. So whether it was rethreaded or something from a Springfield, I really don't know. But I scoped the barrel, and it's got quite a bit of pits in it. It wasn't taken care of, or it saw neglect before he even got it, which is probably what actually happened. So he gave it to a gunsmith. He had it polished and reblued. He had sights put on it. This is a Williams rear sight and a Williams front sight. They put the rear sight on backwards. I haven't moved it yet, but it doesn't really matter, but it's backwards, and it bothers me, so I gotta fix it. And he had it drilled and tapped, and he put a Bushnell scope on it, and he hunted with it. And I believe back in the day, he was using 180 grain bullets as well. And back then, it wasn't as it is today. Bullets weren't as common. They weren't as good. There weren't as many selections. And there was a lot of 300 Magnums. And some of the bullets are just made for the Magnum velocity. So what happens is the 06s and the 308s can't push them fast enough. So you didn't get really good expansion unless you hit a big bone, or unless they were really close. The animal was really close. So you take a 180 grain bullet that's going 3,000 in a Magnum, and it's only going 2650 in 06, and maybe 2550 to 308 or 2600. And you've taken a lot of potential yardage off velocity, and sometimes it just doesn't open up. Doesn't get enough resistance on game. And I think that's what happened to him, because he shot a couple deer and they ran off. So he said, I'm done with the 30-06. I want a different caliber, and he was going to sell it. And my grandfather wouldn't let him sell it because he's got too much invested. He hand fit this stock. This is a Bishop stock. You can see very 60s. You can see the ebony grip cap and the ebony fore-end tip and the contours and the shape. It's very 60s. It's very thin right here, and it's flat and wide in the bottom, and it flares out only at the action where it needs to. Very, very thin through the wrist here. I mean, you can get your hand overlapping around it. It's got a Timney trigger in it, and undercut rollover cheek piece, and an old school Pachmayr ventilated recoil pad. The gun shoots really good. I've got some of the loads that we loaded long time ago, back in the 70s, in the early 70s. I still got some, and written with pencil on the outside of the box what they are. So I kind of save those. I don't shoot them, but I've never really run it through its paces. So I had it out today. This past week, I made up some brass, fully prepped it, and I loaded up this morning and went this afternoon. So it didn't do awful well, but I know the gun shoots, so I'm not really worried. And it was 98 degrees, so in all fairness, it probably has a lot to do with the heat. So I'm not upset at all or worried at all, but I'll try some different bullets. That was 180 grain Remington with 40-64, and I know 40-50 shoots really good, so I'll probably just try that next. But I did get some really good velocities. I got 2760 feet per second with 180 grain bullet, so that's pretty good. So I'm happy there. And it wasn't awful, but it was like 1.5 inches. So if I can't be at or better than an inch, I'm just not super happy. And I know this gun can do that, so I'll keep lurking at it. But I changed out the scope. I changed out the rings. I left the bases. All I did was take them off, clean them, degrease everything, and put them back on so I know that they're good. But the rings are engraved millet rings. Millet used to be pretty popular in the 80s and the 90s, and I grabbed a couple sets through the years. And when I had it and needed a set of rings, they were a good height, so I put them on. It could be a tad lower for what I like. I love my scopes slammed down as tight as you can get them. But with this bolt, the way this bolt is and the way this bolt is cut, there isn't a whole lot of clearance back here. So I couldn't go a whole lot lower. I could go a little bit lower, but there's only so many rings you can get, so I left it like this. And it works good. The rollover cheek piece is high enough that your eye lines up really good. And so that's what I mounted on it. So anyway, this is 10 different firearms in 10 days. So this is my first one I've ever done. And I hope you guys like it. I hope you like the Mausers as well as I do. This one here is, like I said, it's just special to me. It was my dad's and it was my grandfather's all in one. And now it's mine. And I've taken it hunting a few times, and I haven't taken any game with it yet. But that needs to happen. So I figured I'm not getting any younger. Might as well start. So there we go. There's my first rifle, 98 Mauser 30-06. I hope you enjoyed it. God bless everybody. CW out.